Hi everyone, Patrick here. Welcome to the new monthly project. This is number 63 and the theme is Merge to Fandoms. A great example is, like here, Luigi in Stranger Things. That's two totally different fandoms and I think it works really well. So that's all about the imagination and what you can come up with. Think Pokemon trainers in the world of Jurassic Park, or Harry Potter combined with Star Wars or something like that. Or The Legend of Zelda met Fallout. I don't know, things like that, you know. So it's a super fun theme, very creative. Let's dive in, have a look, and see what the artists in my art community have come up with this month. Alright, first off, we've got Paul Chiri, and you're running with the fairy tale theme, and you've got Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf. Really creative idea, I love that. Wolverine as the wolf, and yeah, it's a really nice spin. Super creative. That's what it's all about. I really love mixing those kind of unique ideas. A popular character like Wolverine, yeah, and spinning it with a fairy tale like this. So I love that. The art itself, super clean. I mean, have a look. I love your work. It's always top notch. Quality work. If you don't mind, I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback on this. Alright, so I'm just in Photoshop. I've made some slight adjustments. So this is the new one. I've sized him up basically. I thought it was a composition thing, and this arm I felt was a bit too far out, so what I did was I pulled it in, tucked it in and aimed it up so it still fits in the composition. So you can see now the sizing. So I just feel like that's about right. He's kind of standing more in front of her, a little closer to us, so he can be a little bigger, and she's, yeah, about right like that. So the sizing now seems about right. Composition wise, it feels a lot better as well. There's too much empty space here, not much going on there. So really play up that idea of the wolf, you know, and then she's obvious, that the Red Riding Hood. One more thing. I just feel like his saturation, or his colors just seem a little too blue, a little too dark. Same with hers. You can still do a bit of it, but I recommend trying to bring them back. Let me try it a little bit more. Camera raw filter is a really good way to do this, and I'm just changing the temperature to bring it more yellow, or I can come down to color grading. Okay, so I've just made some color adjustments on him, so that's what I've got, and this was before. Do you see it's just something about the wash that he's got over him, like the color wash. It's very blue, bit too blue or something. It's not working with that yellow for some reason, so I've brought it back to this for now. But then also, if I just get a levels and bring that down now, so bring the levels down, and then I go to camera raw filter again, change the temperature to we need purple, so like a purpley blue, like that. Maybe the vibrance can go down a bit. And so yeah, press OK, and then that just adds that kind of nighttime hue to him, and then I'll just put a layer mask over that with a soft brush and just bring back that yellow original, and we'll start to get a natural kind of scene, like a look to him. So the fist is coming forward, so I'd like to have that more lit, and the claws, you know, highlight those, and then his shoulder beaming because the light, top of the head, top of that one, and then a little bit of this hand as well, and this leg because it's, you know, leaning forward as well, just slightly though. So probably that, and the rest can all be pretty dark, maybe a little bit on the chest. But yeah, I feel like that's going to work a lot nicer. Anyway, I feel that feels a lot nicer and more natural when you put a bit more of that dynamic shadowing in. And I can saturate it a bit more if I want to bring out the purple undertone of that shadow version. So if I really pack in the purple and blue, like this, there we go. And then saturate it maybe more. See what it looks like. So which one do I like more? Yeah, I do like it more when I've done that now too. And then the cool thing is you can just take the opacity bar down to like choose how dark and how intense you want that to be. So cool. I'll just leave it like 90%. I'd do a bit to her as well, but I think she's okay. Like the red could pop more maybe, but anyway, that'd really lift it off. But I think that's pretty good. I think overall it just needs a slightly better crop like this. I know we're going to lose that claw a bit, but you got to look at the rule of thirds here, and you want the interesting points to be around here and here. There's their heads, just for placement, you know. So that seems like a better crop to me, because there's a lot of nothing here. So that's probably a bit better. I don't know, maybe a little less than that. Anyway, let's look at a before and after. So before I started and then now. So I hope those tips helped. I really love what you've done here, and yeah, keep up the awesome work there, Paul. I love that. Look at the quality. I love this. Awesome. Let's move on. Okay, check this out. This is Paul Cameron, and you've done Iron Man, like an Iron Man samurai, which I think is a really, really cool mix of, you know, running with that samurai theme, putting it on a unique character like Iron Man, very popular, you know, because it's cool. You can adapt it to his look and his armor. You've really thought out the plating and, you know, the mechanics of it, how it works. Even the, you know, the hat part is like, yeah, it's all mechanical and got beaming lights in it, electronics. This is really cool, very, very good design, and you've got a few different, you know, pieces here that showcase this. I love this. Love what you've done here. Have a look at this. There's your, like a blueprint version. Oh, this is so cool. You've outdone yourself with this. I think it's top-notch work. Oh yes, and have a look at this. You've got some more design stuff here that you were thinking up. This is like a, what is this, like a demon, devil kind of Satan or monstrous version. Iron Man. Look at that chin. That's cool. This would make a great tattoo just right there. That's really cool. These creative concepts are awesome. I mean, look at this. Have a look at that line work and the detail there. Superb. Like, you can't go wrong with that. I just love all that detail. The way you've got it on the black background too just looks really nice. That sword is really cool too. It's something that Tony Stark would kind of come up with, a samurai sword like that beams like a lightsaber. Yeah, very professional work there. Here's a, yeah, Venom that you said. Oh, Reacher, that's right. You said it was Reacher if Reacher had Venom on him. How cool is that? Imagine how beefy that thing would be. Reacher is huge. That's cool. It does look like him too. You've got the likeness right there. That's a great idea. Cool spin there. I like that. That's it. You've got a lot of cool stuff here today. Oh, I love your work, Cameron. Paul Cameron. Love this. Love it. Okay, next is Adrian. And yeah, here are some cool fandoms that you've mixed together. I like the way this works. You see this monster here? That was my childhood. I remember being like 5 and really, really into this. That's my pet monster, I believe. Mixed with Ninja Turtles. That's a great mashup there. Very cool. They kind of have a similar tone almost, in a way, because, you know, yeah, grungy and that 90s vibe. That's so cool. More, you've got a lot of pieces, by the way. You've done a few. Ninja Turtles, Sonic. Yeah, that's cool, seeing them team up together. There's Raph. And, oh, cool, another Ninja Turtle Transformer. That's a good idea. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's cool. I like the way that works. I'd love to see like a full body shot of that, actually, now think about it. Oh, so this is the Turtles, their bus. Oh, sorry, the van transformed. Oh, that's good. I like the way that works. Yeah, because I just saw the shell down here. That's awesome. Really like that. This is really creative. I really like the way that works. That Pikachu. I like the way you've drawn Pikachu here, the cartoony style. The animated face, like it looks like it belongs in a cartoon. Very cool. That's a nice idea. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Pennywise Ninja Turtle. That's cool. Creepy. I don't think I've ever would have thought of that mashup, and that's what I like. Those ideas that you'd never expect to see. But that is really cool, you know. That's cool. Imagine if he had, you know, what would really top this piece off? If he had his other hand here, and it had Raph's, you know, his fork blade thing. I forgot the name of it. You know, his dagger, and like going to pop the balloon or something. I don't know. You know, like he's got the other thing. He's about to pop it to try and scare someone or something. I don't know. That way, it really ties in the Ninja Turtle thing even more heavy. Nah, I like it. Very nice work there, Adrian. These are cool. All right, next is Jeremy Clark. You've done a bit of a mashup here of, this is the Cuphead style, you know, the Cuphead animated theme, and you've mixed it with the Legend of Zelda here. which is really cool. I never would have expected that kind of mashup. That's what it's all about, you know, getting some unexpected themes, putting them together, see how they work. I think this works really nicely. I like the way that, yeah, he's looking over. That's cool. Great setup as well. Really cool composition. It's almost like you can see the world. It's like a video game of like, you know how Mario has that kind of world that you can like choose your level and yeah, on the game. That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's very cool. Yeah, I like the skeletons, the style. This is really good. I really like the way that turned out. That's really nice. Awesome work there, Jeremy. All right, next is Andrew O, and you've done a cyberpunk Catwoman, which is a really cool idea. You mentioned that you hadn't quite finished it, but that's okay. I really like seeing it like this. It's really popping. Your line work is really nice, by the way. You've done some solid, bold lines there. Yeah, so the cyberpunk theme, very cool to mix with her. Can you imagine? Like, she'd be a very like upgraded version of that. Even more, like imagine if you took it further, if you were really going Cyberpunk 2077, you know, the game, and if you had like an augmented, like half augmented version of Catwoman, where maybe one arm is like a big mantis claw or something, like half robotic almost, or a big cat tail that whips around. And I think you mentioned in your email that you were going to do a whip that was all like a cyberpunk whip, but you didn't have quite enough time. But this is really great. I really like what you've done. The claws are a nice touch. Like the you mentioned they're supposed to be like mantis claw, yeah, fingernail kind of thing. So that's really cool. Mechanical. Yeah, she looks really good. I like it. Futuristic Catwoman, basically. It's awesome. I like that. All right, here we go. Cyril, you've done a mashup. Wolverine, Freddy Krueger mixed together. I think that's a great theme. I'm a horror fan myself, so this excites me. Wolverine as well. Yeah, you looking fierce. That is brutal. Look at that skin. He can't heal from that. He won't come back. You know, he's just permanently scarred up like that. Yeah, that is terrifying. Very cool mashup. Another one that I just wouldn't expect. I love those ideas where it's very, you know, creative like that in the mind. Artwork wise, I think this is good. I like your detailing in the hair, and especially in the clothing and stuff. You know, that kind of rough look looks really cool through here. Kind of works for Freddy Krueger. You know, that version of him. If I was going to give you any advice or feedback here, I think see your outlines around you've done the detailing in the shoelaces and the shoes and everything, I can tell, but you've lightened up your outlines too much to the point where they're blending with your colors now. So if you want to like darken the outlines back down, it'll pop more. Like you need that structure in the shoe. You've lost it, so you want to bring that back. So especially up here through the leg, you see the lines are just lost. See, they're lighter than the actual shading that you've got there, the rough, sketchy crosshatch shading. Your actual outlines are going, you know, pretty bright. So yeah, I'd recommend darkening those parts down. I think the way that you would do it is because you've got them darker here, but it's only because the skin's lighter and everything else is lighter. So you would darken these parts down, but then lighten them maybe a little bit. That way you'll get it just right. Same with the hair. You're kind of losing detail a lot through here. But anyway, yeah, this is really good. I really like what you've done there overall. So yeah, great work there, Cyril. Love that. And last up, we've got Gabrielle, and you've done this is Dead Space, a Dead Space mashup with Iron Man. And you know what? Another one I never would have thought of. I think that's great because, you know, Isaac in the game in Dead Space is it is Isaac, right? I believe it is. His suit is very mechanical and almost like Iron Man, pretty much the same, nearly. But yeah, very much more detailed. That kind of visor. So it really works well. I love that. That just fits perfectly, doesn't it? Can you imagine Iron Man taking down some of those Dead Space horror monsters? That'd be crazy. But yeah, really cool idea. I love that concept. Love it. Artwork, I think it's really good. Your details are there. I think composition wise, it's not bad actually. It's a good cover, but I feel like we'd need a little more. You want the monster to fill up at least this much space. He's just going off frame a bit too much. This single arm is just taking up too much, and there's too much empty space, basically. You need some kind of backdrop. This device thing that he's throwing as well, I just wish it had some outlines or some structure to really hold it together. I'm not too... Yeah, it's just too flat looking. You know what I mean? But yeah, and some of the proportions in Iron Man himself just need a little bit of adjusting. Like the leg here could be beefier and heavier. He's got like a little... The foot's too small. Little foot. We need to bulk that out. Have it like even here, like stretch it out about that big clunky legs. The arm could reach out even more, I reckon. It just seems like, yeah. But the detail is all there. You've got a really good detail. It's just the proportions side of things and anatomy. Big chunky leg here too, I recommend. Big. You could have the foot showing even about here. Yeah, really get that out. But yeah, I think that's really good overall. Great work. Probably the only other thing I would say is, this is totally different, but the wording Iron Man is just feels a little too simple. That font. I would do something design-wise to really beef that up. It just seems a little too simple, like a very plain kind of font. You want something a bit more bold and beefy. I think that would be really cool. I don't know, but yeah, great work there. That's awesome. Anyway, that is it for this monthly project. Thank you everyone who submitted. I really like that theme. I think it's great merging two fandoms. Mashups is one of my favorite things to do and favorite things to see personally. So yeah, great work everyone. I really enjoyed this one. I'm going to put out the new monthly project very soon on my Patreon. So keep an eye out for that everyone. And I'm trying to do some more creative themes that really test you and push your skills basically. That's the goal. Something that kind of excites you as well, because that's something that really is important for an artist. You have to enjoy it and love it and get excited about it. So that's what I'm going to set up very soon. And yeah, if you're new to these projects, feel free to join my Patreon over at patreon.com/PatrickBrown. I've always got things going on around there, art competitions, we do these monthly projects. I put videos out every fortnight as well of just, me drawing and putting new art out and things like that. So, cool. All right, I'll leave it there. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.